Okay, I wanted to make this quick video about proof of weak hands and talk about it being a scam, a Ponzi scheme, a scam, or I keep seeing these comments. I wanted to address this. I keep seeing these comments, or I've seen a couple, about 3 different times I've seen comments that have said things like, get in while you can't, while you can. When there's too many investors in, the dividends are going to dry up, and then this whole thing's going to go bust. And it's absolutely absurd. I can talk to you about what may happen and what could go wrong, but there's a fundamental misunderstanding of what this technology is all about. I want to go ahead and address that and explain that. I'm hearing people say things like, if too many people gets in, it's going to collapse under its own weight. Only the new investors are going to make money. Again, this is absurd. It's just fundamentally not understanding. I saw a video today where some guy was trying to be like an expert, and he was doing one of those car videos. And I watched this guy, and I thought half of what he's saying is 100% not correct. So I want to go ahead and address this. So here we go. First of all, I want you to understand why this cannot collapse under the weight of itself and why it's not a Ponzi scheme. Now, yes, they use Ponzi scheme verbiage all over this website. They're tongue-in-cheek with it. They're having fun. It's set up to be more of a game than anything else, and I'll explain why it's a game. It's proof of weak hands. So it's all about basically, who can hold on the longest, who's going to get nervous, who's going to lose first, so to speak. That's kind of what the whole game is set up about. It's as much a gaming platform as an investing as anything else. But it's not it's not a Ponzi scheme at all. A typical Ponzi scheme is where someone is running an investment and say they promise 1% a day, 10% a year, but they're not doing anything. The only source of the returns is from, so I invest $1,000, you invest $1,000, but I invest this month, you invest next month, and they pay me, quote unquote, my returns out of your money. And what eventually happens in that scenario, after a while, the next month, the new investors coming on, we get money paid out of we get our payment out of their investment. Eventually, there's not enough new investors to pay a return to the old investors, and therefore the Ponzi scheme ends. By the way, it's the same issue with Social Security when you hear them talking about paying taxes in the U.S. It's because literally Social Security it morphed into what is essentially a Ponzi scheme. An American government institution here in the U.S. morphed into what is essentially nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. Social Security benefits are paid out based off new tax dollars coming in. One of the risks of the Social Security going bankrupt is literally the Ponzi scheme bankrupting because there's not enough people paying in. That doesn't just about Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes outside of the U.S. government, when anyone else does it, they're 100% illegal. Bernie Madoff is going to jail for a long time for running an illegal Ponzi scheme. It was claimed that BitConnect was a Ponzi scheme. So, and therefore people say, oh, they're sort of BitConnect. They're a Ponzi scheme. No, read the article. The article says a simulation of what BitConnect was said it was doing. A simulation of what BitConnect said it was doing. So BitConnect represented itself as 100% legit. So what proof of weak hands does is, if you come down here, first of all, it's an open source platform. That's extremely important. You can look at the code. Other people have looked at the code. You can go on GitHub and look at the code. The funny wording is awesome, but it kind of screws a lot of people up because they're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. It has to be a scam. No, it's tongue-in-cheek. It's a game. It's designed to be that way. But I want you to understand, is this where it's at? Okay. For each token added or removed from circulation, the price of the next token increases or decreases automatically by a fractional amount of ETH. Okay. When people buy your tokens, they're worth slightly more. When they sell, they're worth slightly less. Okay. Let's see what they talk about. They talk about the fees. Okay. Freely exchangeable. Notice, freely exchangeable. It's not free, quite the opposite. It's expensive, but they're having tongue in cheek. They're playing on that word. Our tokens transfer system is built to automatically take 10% of all traded tokens, melt them in the ETH, and hand it out to everyone else. Even if the trades occur outside the contract itself, exchange support has never paid you before. So they're saying no other exchange has ever paid you. The money that you're getting paid is not taking money from other investors as it's coming in. You're not getting paid. The problem with Ponzi schemes is you get paid an unsustainable return. What they're doing is you're getting paid the fees that are being charged on the exchange. So if you get started and you purchase $1,000 worth of P3D tokens, proof of weak hands tokens, 10% of that, $100, is the exchange fee. Now, normally on most exchanges, the fee is far smaller, 1 or 2%, or even less, depending on, if you're in the stock market, the forex market, options market, whatever. However, their exchange fee, the way this is set up, is it's hefty. It is designed not to make it easy to, or to discourage you from exchanging. So when you exchange or when you buy tokens or sell tokens, you're charged a 10% fee. That 10% fee goes to everyone who owns any tokens. A small amount of it goes to everyone who owns any tokens. So if you just hold on to your tokens, if everybody holds on to their tokens, and this is what would happen. People are like, what would happen if, everybody just bought in and then the dividends go down? If everybody buys in and nobody is selling, eventually there's not any more buyers. Guess what? That means there's no more tokens moving in and out of the system. I want to show you this. By the way, this isn't actually my account. This isn't my actual account. I mean, it's an account I use, but this is a different computer. So my MetaMask isn't tied to my ETH wallet. So all this says 0, 0, 0, 0. I want to show you something. Statistics. This is the volume of orders. This is how many orders have come in. This is the total volume. At some point, as this levels off, dividends slow down. As dividends slow down, there's nothing to collapse. You just don't get paid a dividend. That's it. You just don't get paid. There's nothing to collapse. I want you to understand that. You just don't get paid a dividend. You get paid less and less dividends. Well, now in economics, what happened is people typically need money. They want cash flow. So what a lot of people will do if the dividends slow down on sheer economics, this occurs in the stock market. It occurs in every financial, area that pays some sort of a return. It occurs in real estate. When the returns, the dividend returns are slow, then oftentimes these people will sell to produce income. And maybe they have a plan to buy in later. Maybe they want to use those profits to buy something else. Maybe they want to pay their mortgage with those profits. Maybe they want to take their wife out to dinner. Who knows? Maybe they want to buy other cryptocurrency. Either way, they'll sell. When they sell, guess what that does? It means they pay a 10% fee and it adds volatility back into the market. Therefore, dividends go back up. When people start selling, dividends go up. When people buy. Look today. Today, out of the past 7 days, there was a lot more sell orders today than previously. Guess what that means? There was a good bit of dividends today as well. Even though the price didn't go up a whole lot today, there was still dividends paid because people sold. Other people, of course, bought, but people sold. So every time people buy and sell, there are dividends paid out because there's always a fee, and the fee is the dividends paid out to all of the token holders. And here, the more tokens you have, the more dividends you have. The more volume, understand what volume is. Volume is the number of people buying, the number of people selling. The more volume there is, so the total contract, the total amount in all of proof of weekends is 1,721 ETH. 1,721 ETH. Daily volume, notice it doesn't even go close to 1,700 because this is the total amount in. There's 1,721 Ether. But all the way back here, there was just under 125 Ether bought and sold. That was the churn rate. That was the amount bought, the amount sold. Amount bought, amount sold, not total amount being held, because the Ether that was bought and put into the system on this day doesn't count towards this day. This isn't a cumulative total. The cumulative is here. This is daily volume, daily amount of ether that's been transacted. That's transactional volume is where the dividends come from. The volume. I hope that makes a little bit of sense because there's a clear misunderstanding of how this works. Once you understand this, it's fascinating. Now, here's what can happen with P3D. Here's the negative. The negative is dividends go very, very low. That's the negative. A lot of people buy in, nothing happens. That's the negative. And by the way, when that happens, you can always just sell your tokens. The worst thing that can happen is you buy your tokens and then you sell them right away. Because then you're going to pay 10% buying them, you're going to pay 10% when you sell them. And if you do it all really fast, you're going to lose a total of 20% of your original investment. Because you're going to, well, almost 20%. Because if you buy in with $1,000, you're going to lose $100 on the exchange, 10% fee. Now you got $900 and you decide, you know what, I want to sell. Now you're going to lose $90. Again, there's a 10% fee. That $190 of the 1,000 is what goes out to all of the holders of the tokens. So there's a huge incentive not to sell. Now with that being said, it's a game. So there are people out there that are going to probably attempt to bluff the market. They're going to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt because they want people to sell. That's why it's a game. There are going to be people attempting to manipulate the market. Now, with that, there's also going to be dApps that are being created. If you're in the Discord, there's a great, very, very active Discord here. If you come to chat, you can log into the Discord. If you go to the Discord, there's a lot of people talking about potential technologies. There's a couple YouTubers out there that are looking to create, to program apps on top of the P3D blockchain that are going to be games. And a big function of those games is to help create volatility in the market. So it goes ups and downs, etc. So stay tuned for that. It's a very interesting space. It's a very, very interesting concept in and of itself. You can use it as an investment, but understand that it's part investment, part gambling. What it really is a game ultimately. It's on a platform, and they're kind of making fun of something called universal basic income, if you're familiar with that as well, because all token holders have the potential to earn income or dividends based off of the fluctuation. Now, I will tell you, I'm earning, at this current moment in the past couple of days, like 1%, 2%, 3%, 1.5%. Well, if you include the value going up of my P3D tokens, the ETH value right here going up, because I bought it, it was 0.0043, I think. I'm getting stellar returns. But guess what? As more people buy in, or as the volume plateaus of people buying in, then it slows down. However, there's only like 300-ish, 400 total investors right now in P3D. So the market cap's not even $1 million. That's nothing. So there's a lot of room for growth. It looks very fascinating, totally fascinating. Less of a pyramid scheme than all top 50 cryptocurrencies. That's awesome. They're saying right here, clearly it's not a pyramid scheme. It's less of a pyramid scheme than all top 50 cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of that tongue-in-cheek verbiage on here. And so the thing that I wanted to dispel is that it may collapse because of something related to technology. Supposedly the smart contracts are very secure. They've run hackathons supposedly. Supposedly at one point someone found a bug and they exploited the bug, and then they paid all the tokens back to the owners. And that particular hacker has also went back and has seen to it that the bug is fixed. Supposedly all this has been discussed in the community. I can't verify necessarily any of it. However, someone could hack a smart contract one day. That's possible. And the bigger it gets, the more incentive there might be for someone to try to hack it. However, it is not going to fall because people stop investing in it. There are no returns that are getting paid out that are not sustainable. Returns are only paid out when they're from transaction fees, when transaction fees occur. Again, that's people buying and selling and transferring. I hope that makes a lot of sense. If you have any questions on that, if there's anything I need to clear up, just put a question down below. Also, stay tuned tomorrow. I'm going to get back to my videos on my Bitcoin challenge, where my goal is to go from with $0 to take basically a wallet from $0 to 1 full Bitcoin in the course of a year. Also, if I have time some point tomorrow, I'm also going to go log into my actual account live and show you, what I've been able to earn and show you, demonstrate a reinvestment. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. Click that subscription button, hit that bell notification icon so you'll know as soon as I come on live and I'll have something to share and I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and God bless.